Alright, hey everybody. I'm here with Ed, and I just ran into him downtown here, and we had a little discussion about the hysteria, and he told me a story about when he got the vaccination for the swine flu. And I asked him if he would tell that story, and he agreed. So, Ed, you want to give us a kind of a nutshell version of what happened to you when you took that shot?
Yes, Brad. Ed Carmen from Walpole, New Hampshire. Oh, back June 20 of 2003, I ended up at DHMC. I was there for, well, ICU, total of 4 months. The gals in the office at R.N. Johnson the day before said, you know, you've been working too many hours. Way too many hours. You look like you're run down and all that. Why don't you go see a doctor? This is Friday, probably mid-afternoon. So
And this was what you said, 2003, right?
2003, right.
When that swine flu thing was going around.
Right. I took a swine flu shot back right after college in 1973. But my understanding is once you take a flu shot, it stays in your body all your life. You can't get rid of it. It's there. So after visiting doctor up here on the hill, the old Bellows Falls Memorial Hospital, I was issued 10 prednisone pills. So you're supposed to take like 4 one day, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Friday, I took the 4 pills and I was on my deathbed the next morning. I was helicoptered to Dartmouth, and I was diagnosed as Guillain-Barré syndrome, Guillain-Barré, Guillain-Barré syndrome, whichever way you want to pronounce it.
And can I interrupt for a second, Ed?
Sure.
Would you say that all of this, all of your physical problems came from them giving you drugs? They came first from the flu shot in '73 and then giving you the prednisone. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been sick, right?
I presume I wouldn't be sick.
At least not to the degree that you were.
And I visited Springfield Hospital since then, many years ago, and there were articles on the bulletin boards associating swine flu shot, prednisone, and the Guillain-Barré syndrome. So the bills were $750,000. I'm glad that I had pretty good insurance. It was Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Hampshire. Anyway, 3 years later, after all my medical bills were paid, I didn't pay a nickel because I was kind of a guinea pig at Dartmouth.
Yeah.
It was the worst case that they've ever seen. I had over 100 doctors see me, all colors of the rainbow.
Did they give you any other drugs besides the shot and the prednisone? Did they put you on all kinds of stuff?
I was in a doctor-induced coma. I was on one of them ventilator machines doing the breathing for me. I was dead. I was gone.
And were they pumping a lot of other drugs into you?
I have no idea. I don't remember nothing except I was up there somewhere, dressed in white, looking down on the world. I was dreaming.
Wow.
I was dreaming.
Did you meet Jesus by any chance?
Huh?
Did you meet Jesus?
Close. But anyway, I thought maybe I'd read or write a book, but I never did. And this goes back about 16 and a half years now. But anyway, 3 years after I got out of the hospital, I get a letter from some Chicago attorney wanting, well, 3-page informational sheet, wanted to know if possibly this was work-related, workman's comp, whether I had other insurances or whatever, because their client, Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Hampshire, probably wanted to recoup some of the close to $750,000. So I didn't answer that letter outside of knocking off a couple of pieces of information that was on the internet, 2 pages, and I sent it to the attorney, and I said, if you want your money for your client, you get it from the government, because they poisoned me. Because back in '73, the Walpole grammar school or high school, I stood in line. A lot of us did.
To get the shot.
And we were shot with them guns, the swine flu virus shot.
Yeah, that was a terrible thing.
And that's what did me in. My first dose of prednisone, actually, prednisone is prescribed for hundreds and hundreds of ailments.
I'm quite familiar with prednisone, yeah.
And in my case, my
It's a steroid.
metabolism, my body, it's a steroid. It
Yeah,
disables your immune system.
It's a steroid, yeah.
It disables your immune system. So if you have a bug in you, in this case it was a swine flu, it entered my immune system and knocked me over.
Yeah. Now,
So-
did you know, Ed, that when they give you those vaccines, that they also contain a lot of heavy metals like mercury and lead that are all proven to cause physical problems?
There are a lot of chemicals in them.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist.
Yep.
Only what I read sometimes.
I hate to interrupt,
There's
Ed, but I want to try to keep this kind of short for my viewers. But so, what's your opinion on what's going on now? I asked you before the camera was on if you thought it was right. If it gets to the point where they're going to try to mandate that everybody takes a vaccine, and you said you didn't think that was right.
I agree. I can never take another flu shot, and I never will. And it shouldn't be mandated. I'll tell you, I've talked to a lot of people that have taken flu shots, and weeks later, they all tell me, boy, not feeling good at all.
Yeah.
Not feeling good at all. And the thing is, I think the flu shots probably cause more harm than the amount of people that get infected.
You're absolutely right.
Die of the actual flu.
And a lot of that is,
Come
like I
around.
said, because it contains a lot of other nasty chemicals in them. They got mercury and lead and detergents, and, they even have fetal tissue in those things. It's not a good thing. But, Ed, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you taking a minute to talk to me and my viewers. And Ed's from New Hampshire, where the slogan is "Live Free or Die." And we're just, as you guys know who watch this channel, I'm in Vermont, right across the river. And I notice, I even notice a difference when I go across the river to the New Hampshire side. There's a lot more people not wearing masks. There's a lot more people carrying on with their day-to-day lives and don't seem to be as worried about it as on this side of the river.
Well, we've only got approximately, last counts were somewhere around 350, 360 infected in New Hampshire, and I believe Vermont is about the same.
Yeah.
So you're
We're pretty
talking
similar people on each side of the
700
river.
between the two states.
But what I was saying to you is it's time we start acting live free or die. Because if we're going to lose all our freedoms because we're afraid that we might get sick or that somebody we know might die from this virus, but we don't have any freedoms, that is, what's that slogan mean? Live free or die. Now's the time that we have to stand up for our freedoms. And if we die, we die. I'd rather die a free man than live as a slave in a cage.
You're right. You're right.
Do you agree with me, Ed?
Yes, you're right.
Well, my friend, it's been great talking to you. And I appreciate your time and I appreciate your story. And take care of yourself.
Well, thank you.
And I'm going to turn the camera off now. God bless, Ed.